Hello everyone, welcome to another quick tip video. So this is the key card to my Megane out there, and recently it started working a bit intermittently, so let me see if I can demonstrate that. So let me go, I'm just going to go unlock. That worked. Oh, it's typical, isn't it? It's working now. Oh, there you go, see? Look, now it's not working. See, it should be locking now. It's not. Let me see if I can do the other one. It just did the other one. Let me see if that works. See, so it is working. See, that side worked then as well. So it is working, but as you can see, it's working intermittently. But as you can see, range-wise, the range when it does work is still very good. You can see where I am and you can see where the car is. Now, the generally accepted wisdom is if your batteries in here are going flat, the range will reduce. Now, as you can see, the range is not reduced, but it's working intermittently. So is it the battery, or is it some other intermittent problem with either this or the car itself? So in this video, I'm gonna try and sort of help you maybe answer that in certain circumstances. Now, if you're anything like me, firstly, you'll definitely obviously have one of these voltmeters, and you might think to yourself, well, let me take the battery out and see if the voltage on the battery is reduced, i.e., like is the battery past its best. So let's check that. So this is supposed to be 3 volts. That's what it's rated as. Now, as you can see on the display there, it's coming up at 2.95. Now, really, you would probably think, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty much 3 volts. The battery must be fine. But actually, in my experience, I think no, that battery is not fine, and I shall explain to you why. Firstly, here I've got a new one, and if I measure the new one, as you can see, it actually measures slight, even though it's still rated obviously at the same 3 volts. When you measure it, it measures over, and I've pretty much always found that to be the case. And also, you might think, well, okay, that one's slightly under, one's slightly over, that's still not a big difference. And yes, I agree with you. Like, my gut feeling also would be to think, well, that small difference in voltage isn't going to indicate a significant difference in charge. But because of the physics of how voltage relates to charge on a battery, actually what I found in my experience is that relatively small difference in voltage reading when you're testing a battery does actually usually often relate to, or pretty much always relate to, I would say, a significant difference in charge. And what I found is, in these sort of situations, when you measure like a pair of batteries and compare them like that, if there's that much difference on them, and there's an intermittent type problem, or maybe even it's not working at all in these little key fobs, if you change the battery, that will normally fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new battery in. I actually can't remember which way I pulled this out, but I think it was that way, wasn't it? Okay, I think it was that way. So now works. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera the lights flashing or not, but I'm hoping you can. So I hope you can see that's working every time now. And I'm sure, just based on previous experience, that intermittent problem will have gone away now. As you can see, it is working properly now. And what I will in fact do is, just to make sure, because I don't ever want to give like bad information in my videos, obviously, is before uploading this, I will actually just, you know, test it for a few days, just make sure that intermittent problem has definitely gone away. But if it hasn't, I'll either, you know, add to this video or not upload it. But if you've watched this video and it ends here, you can safely assume that that intermittent problem has gone away, and the reason for it was indeed that a relatively small looking difference on the charge. So I suppose the reason I'm making this video, I probably made it a bit, I've probably gone on a bit and made it a bit longer than I've had to, but I suppose the point of it obviously is, you know, to avoid you trying to chase some other problem when really it is just a low battery. Basically, that's the point of the video. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope it was helpful. See you on the next one. Okay, so just a quick addition to the video, guys. When I watched that previous clip, I did notice that on one of the times I pressed the unlock button, it seemed not to work. Now, I'm not 100% sure why that was. My gut feeling is I probably just hadn't pressed the button sort of like firmly enough, because you do need to sort of press these buttons with like a certain amount of firmness. My gut feeling is it was because of that, because it's actually been about probably pushing 2 weeks now since I filmed that last clip, and I've used this car quite a few times over those couple of weeks, and obviously, you know, doors have been locked, unlocked quite a few times, and it has always been working consistently since. So like I said, I think on what you saw in that previous clip was just where I hadn't pressed this button firmly enough. But also, just to reiterate the wider point, I suppose, even if it on this specific occasion, on this specific car, the battery change hadn't fixed this problem at all, let's say in this case it had been a different problem, what I said, the points I made in the previous 2 clips, in general terms, they do still apply, because over the years I have fixed like lots of like intermittent, or maybe actually even completely not working problems with things like this by changing the battery, even though when I've measured the battery on the figures, it didn't look like the old battery was that low. So basically, the more important point to take away from the video isn't so much whether it fixed it on this car or not, which, you know, as I say, it did. It was more about how a voltage reading can relate to the amount of charge on a battery, and how that can in turn relate to problems and faults. So hope all that makes sense, and once again, hope you found it useful, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.